Today I'm scanning the front of my E36 so I can continue to design the radiator setup for this car, as well as start the process of building an RTB airbox for this bad boy. Stay with us. If you're new to this channel, I'm building a Supertouring type S42, my own version of it, and it's a B21, so it's going into this E36, and yep, it's been a massive road. We've done a dry sump conversion, and right now I'm doing a whole different radiator setup, and I need to do some 3D scanning of the bumper, the inside of the bumper, as well as the RTB face, so that we can get an idea, so I can start a backing plate and do a whole bunch of modeling for this car. So I need to get started, and we'll first do the RTBs, and then we'll come back and do this puppy. So we are scanning the RTBs now. This is round one. Let's see how it comes out. Seems pretty good, so let's start.
Porch light flicker on the siding, moths dancing like they know the tune. Porch light flicker on the siding, moths dancing like they know the tune. Every breath feels borrowed, but tonight the world's in tune. Old chair hums beneath me, plank boards keep the time. Old chair home beneath me, brain boards keep the time. If this sound ain't perfect, that's how it's mine. Someone left the radio.
If you want to see some more of this kind of content, please consider subscribing. Just click on the subscribe button, hit the bell, and you're good to go. Alright, so I'm going to start with this light as the reference point, and I'm going to do a couple of things on this scan. So this is going to be quite a big scan, because I want to scan the whole front of the car, but I need to do it using these chassis mount pickup points. So scan those, both of them, and then put the bumper on and scan the inside of the bumper, because I need to line up my model in Fusion with the 3D scan of this, so I can get the distances of the bumper relative to these pickup points, because that's obviously going to matter when I check the height and everything of the radiator, or the radiators that we're going to build for this car. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with this light as a reference, and then I'll scan these pickup points, and then I'll pause the scan, we'll put the bumper on, continue with the scan probably from the inside, and yeah, let's see how it goes. Hopefully we win. Alright, so let's get everything set up here. This is a large scan. Okay, so let's start.
Porch light flicker on the siding, moths dancing like they know the tune. Porch light flicker on the siding, moths dancing like they know the tune. Every breath feels borrowed, but tonight the world's in tune. Old chair hums beneath me, plank boards keep the time. Old chair.
Alright, so we have to make a plan now with the light, because we need light on the inside. I hope you are having as much fun as me. Yes, this is exactly what I wanted. Let me pause it so I can show you what we are capturing here. Now, a lot of this may seem really boring, and that's because it is. it's just a slow process of going through and scanning the thing or the object that you want to pull into the model, and making sure that the scanner works with the light and it captures everything. So admittedly, this is my first time scanning something this big, and we decided to invest in the scanner so that we could get good information and we could use it going forward for a lot of our projects. So it is a bit of a tedious process, and it isn't the most cinematic thing to film, but it's going to help us as we go forward and we develop different things and we build different things for our projects. Now, 3D scanning process is probably exceptionally boring to watch. And it is. Just trying to get this bumper in. There's that whole bit we're going to have to trim off there. Alright, so we're done with the scanning. I need to go and process these models, and then I'm going to show you what we're going to do. So if you followed this build before, you will know that I am building a radiator setup that is going to be separated from the kidney section of the grille, and we're going to use the lower section of the bumper and that intake grille that feeds the lower section of the radiator purely for the radiators. And I've come up with this design of the radiators and a radiator package, cooling package, that can fit in that area. I've drawn up the brackets and I've drawn up more or less where the radiators are going to fit, but I need to know how that fits in relation to the bumper, and that's why we did this whole 3D scan, so we can overlay it with my design, because there's also only so much you can measure, and now that we have this 3D scanning tool, we will be able to check it out and properly overlay the 3D scan with the model that I've done. So let's jump. Excuse me. Okay, I'm going to start narrating now. So this is the processed model which I've brought in, and this is what it looks like. Now again, guys, please don't be too critical. This is my first time really doing this, so yeah, I think it was okay. And this is my basic design that you can see, and how I've brought in the 3D scan and kind of aligned it to where the brace of the radiator mount setup is going to pick up on the chassis legs. So you'll remember that I first 3D scanned the body without the bumper, and then I paused it and then put the bumper on so I could get both sides of the bumper, so we could see how the radiators and the brace interface with the bumper. So yeah, you can see the top layout of the radiators and how I plan to mount it. Now I'm going to have to adjust all of this as we go and refine basically the setup. But the idea is so that we can make generic brackets and we can mount it, and they're adjustable enough so that we can basically move it around. Here is some more of the rear view, and you can see how I'm going to have to trim that brace section that goes across the two chassis legs, because I've slightly aligned the radiators to meet up with the bumper. Here I'm kind of showing where the line is at. This line represents the front of the engine, and it kind of displays where the radiators can't go past. It's a point at which they can't go past. So that triangle point cannot really go past there. And the idea is that the two radiators need to meet up there, and we need to block it off so that there's a pressurized zone in that triangle and the air pushes out on the sides. So here what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and I'm just going to change the angle of the radiator. So here you can see, like I say, I'm changing the angle of the radiators so that we don't go past that line which represents the front pulley of the engine in the engine bay. And we need to try and free up enough space at the front end of the radiators so that we don't catch on the bumper, because we're very close to the bumper. And I'll show you that on the 3D model. So now I'm just going to pull back the radiators a bit. Now again, this is kind of indicative because in real life we can change the radiator angle. But the reason I'm doing this is so that I can make up the brackets, laser cut and bend the brackets, and we can at least get that in place so that we can start with the mock-up of the radiators. So here you can see that the radiators are still sticking out below the bumper in the front, and that we can modify in situ. You know, we can change the end tanks to suit that, but we want to kind of get it as close as possible. Reason being is we need to obviously, like I say, laser cut this front brace, as well as the brackets, the mounting brackets for the top of the radiator at the front. And then we'll have to obviously make some sort of mounting system at the back. Now again, please don't critique me too much. I am not an expert modeler, a draftsman. You know, I'm just kind of trying to do this as best as I can. And yeah, I think we're coming along quite nicely. There, it's not looking too bad. Again, we're going to have to modify those tanks in real life so that they can fit, and we'll scoot the radiator, shift the radiators up slightly. But the important thing is, like I say, that we capture the airflow through that grill and we box it up so we can pressurize that zone. Okay, here I'm going to go ahead and start editing this cross brace, because it's not really going to work, and we need to shift the radiators up higher. So this will need to be changed, and obviously it needs to be quite strong, but it can't stay in this shape. So here I'm just checking the clearance. I will obviously change quite a few things in the design, and then effectively just need to, because I've shifted the radiators, we need to modify these plates so that I can go ahead and at least have them manufactured so that we can start the process, because I need to get ahead of the curve, buy the radiators, so that we can start manufacturing this. At the same time, have those plates cut. And there we go, modified it nicely. It looks beautiful. Again, this we're going to be able to change in situ. You can see it has adjusters, it's slotted holes, so that we'll be able to move that up and down if we need to. So there's a bit of space there. We can also trim the height of the radiator, make it slightly shorter, and I'm going to show you why we're going to be able to do that, and when it comes to actually making the box sections for these radiators. And what the beautiful thing about modeling is that I can mirror the components that I just made, and there we go. Now we have them on either side. So pretty awesome, and pretty happy with how this design has turned out. Again, it's not perfect, but it's cool. It's a step forward. So that's at least how we can mount the radiators at the front. And when they in the car, we're going to have to obviously box up all the area around the radiator, so the airflow goes straight through the radiators rather than around it, as well as the bottom section. Here you can see how it is, how it's going to sit on the bumper. Now those two flanges there that you see, back-to-back flanges, those are Those are going to be for a flat floor section that will come into the front of this car. So I'm just doing them at the same time. And that's pretty much how the radiators are going to sit, which is quite exciting. It's interesting. And I can do this because it's a 4-cylinder. It's the M42. And I have that space to be able to do it and get that cooling. And then we'll box it off at the bottom, box it off at the top, and create that high pressure zone in that triangle, and push the air out the sides and hopefully into the wheel wells. So yeah, that's how it's looking. Quite happy with that design. And yeah, it's been quite a lot of work to get it here, but it's amazing that we have this software available to us and been able to do this. So very happy how this is turning out and very excited. Again, the 3D scan is not the best, I know. Yeah, I need to practice some more, but yeah, it's served its purpose for what it is, and I'm happy with the result. Alright, so it's a bit of an engineering episode. But that's where we are with this. So the engine stuff is all at the engineers, and I'm waiting for them to come back. And yep, so what I can do now is I can finalize this model and send it for laser cutting, and then, you know, we got to see how accurate it is. Then I need to get the radiators, and like I say, the radiator heights we can trim. So excited about that. And then, yeah, it's a big project, this. Also, there's quite a bit of risk in terms of the cooling package, but I think it'll be enough. The radiator area is pretty much what the S14s run in the E30s. So it's a very similar area in terms of cooling that you're getting. So it's going to have aluminium tanks as well. So yeah, it's exciting. We're going to see how it all pans out, and then once the engine comes back, we can start putting that together and put it into the chassis. And then plumbing, dry sump, you know, the whole story. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you next time. Ciao.